Heavy storm tore through North China's Hebei province and East China's Shandong province on Monday, with downpours, gales, and hail disrupting traffic and agricultural production. In Hebei, footage recorded in Qian'an in Tangshan City showed the sky turning black by mid-afternoon as hail pummeled streets. Winds ripped roofs from buildings and downed trees along roads. Similar scenes played out in the coastal Qinhuangdao City, where hail poured down for 20 minutes. The adverse weather caused damage to fruit trees and crops in Tangshan and some parts of Qinhuangdao. Also, torrential rains, strong winds, and hail lashed Dezhou City in Shandong on Monday. Laoling City of Dezhou recorded the heaviest rainfall at 121.3 millimeters, while Ningjin County saw the strongest winds. The severe weather disrupted agricultural operations, forcing villagers to scramble during brief breaks in the downpour to salvage their wheat harvests. At around 1800 hours, Dezhou was engulfed in a dusty haze as fierce winds whipped through the city. 30 minutes later, the sandstorm gave way to torrential rain, which brought traffic into chaos. In Ningjin, Laoling, and Qinhuangdao County, hail pelted the ground for approximately 5 minutes before returning to rain. The stormy weather finally tailed off by 2000 hours. Farmers in Wutip County seized every minute between rain bursts to reap their crops, with their over 700,000 mu, about 46,667 hectares, of wheat reaching critical harvest time. The rain forced them to transport their grains with trucks to drying facilities to avoid spoilage. It's very convenient. We just deliver the grains directly without needing to sun-dry it ourselves, said Han Jinfu, a farmer of Hanzhuang village. Our company operates 31 drying units with a daily processing capacity of approximately 1,500 tons, said Zhang Jimin, Deputy General Manager of Zhongxiang Agricultural Development Company, Ltd. in Wutip County. The local meteorological department pointed out that strong convective weather occurred in all towns and coastal waters of Qian'an County, and hail occurred in some areas. An orange hail warning was issued at one point. Tangshan City also experienced hail. In the afternoon, the sky became dark, strong winds blew, and many trees fell. Heavy rain suddenly hit Dalian, Liaoning Province, on Monday evening, flooding many parts of the city and trapping many people in their cars. The downtown area turned into a vast ocean, and a food delivery driver was washed away with his car. The meteorological department said that Dalian's current round of rainfall was heavy, with an average rainfall of 21.5 millimeters in the city. Many low-lying areas were flooded, with the water depth reaching 1.2 meters in some areas. On Monday night alone, more than 200 vehicles were trapped in the city, and the authorities successfully rescued 40 people. The weather in many parts of the mainland has been unstable in recent days. The Central Meteorological Observatory issued 4 warnings for severe convective weather, high temperature, heavy rain, and heavy fog on Tuesday. It is expected that thunderstorms, gales, or hail will occur in northeast China and North China until Wednesday morning. In addition to severe convective weather, high temperatures will continue. It is expected that the temperature in Beijing, Tianjin, Guangdong, and Xinjiang will be above 35 degrees, and in some areas it will exceed 40 degrees. A tropical depression intensified into the first typhoon of this year, Wutip, on Wednesday morning, which is expected to bring heavy squally showers to the coastal areas in the southern part of China, as it gradually edges closer to and is expected to make landfall in the region, where affected provinces have taken precautions. According to China's National Meteorological Center, NMC, The typhoon formed at 8 a.m. in the South China Sea will gradually intensify while moving at 10 to 15 kilometers per hour toward coastal areas from southern Hainan to western Guangdong. It is expected to make landfall along these coastal areas on Friday and may become the first typhoon to make landfall in China this year. After landfall, it will turn northeastward and gradually weaken in intensity. Affected by the typhoon, the southern parts of the country, including Hainan and Guangdong provinces and South China's Guangxi-Zhuang Autonomous Region, are expected to experience widespread rainfalls from Wednesday to Saturday, with parts of the area expected to experience heavy downpours. In particular, some areas in the central and eastern parts of Hainan will experience heavy rains with 100 to 150 millimeters of rain, ChinaNews.com reported on Wednesday. According to historical statistics from the NMC, the formation date of this year's first typhoon is more than 2 months later than average formation date on March 25th. Nevertheless, the average date for the first typhoon making landfall in China, based on the statistics from the NMC between 1991 and 2020, is June 27th. If Wutip makes landfall as currently forecast on June 13th, it will be earlier than the long-term average, according to ChinaNews.com. The late arrival of typhoons can reduce the risk of compounded disasters caused by frequent early typhoons, according to Ma Jun, director of the Beijing-based Institute of Public and Environmental Affairs. For example, the shortened period of typhoons during the agricultural production cycle is beneficial for the growth of crops in the early stages. It also reduces the risk of interruptions to early summer fishing operations, making it safer for offshore fishing during peak seasons, Ma told the Global Times on Wednesday. However, coastal area affected by the first typhoon to make landfall in China should take precautions, Ma noted. The meteorological authorities warned on Wednesday that wind and rainfall will gradually intensify in Hainan, Guangdong, and other regions in the following 3 days and reminded the public to stay informed through updated forecasts and warnings, and take necessary precautions. From Saturday to Sunday, as the typhoon and its circulation move northward, heavy rainfall will also shift northward, affecting areas such as East China's Jiangxi, Fujian, and Zhejiang provinces. China's State Flood Control and Drought Relief Headquarters and China's Ministry of Emergency Management on Wednesday held a joint consultation with meteorological departments to assess the development of the typhoon and to plan and coordinate flood and typhoon prevention efforts. The State Flood Control and Drought Relief Headquarters launched a Level 4 emergency response at noon Wednesday for flood and typhoon prevention in Guangdong and Hainan, and dispatched 2 working groups to Guangdong and Hainan to provide assistance and guidance, China Central Television reported on Wednesday. The Provincial Meteorological Service and the Ocean Monitoring and Forecasting Center in Hainan subsequently issued a Level 4 typhoon warning and a Blue Level 4 wave warning, advising the public of the heightened risks of secondary disasters such as urban and rural flooding, geological disasters, and flooding in small and medium-sized rivers. The authorities also reminded that operating vessels and offshore platforms should take precautions against strong winds, and relevant departments should strengthen the management of ships in port, according to ChinaNews.com. In Guangdong, the Office of the Provincial Flood, Drought and Typhoon Control Headquarters issued a notice on Tuesday requiring all localities and departments to effectively carry out current wind and flood prevention efforts to ensure the safety of people's lives and property, CCTV reported. The local meteorological authorities forecast on Wednesday that, affected by the typhoon, the province will experience its heaviest rainfall from Friday to Sunday since the start of this year's flood season. Authorities reminded the public to take precautions, including securing trees prone to toppling and temporary structures, and to remain alert for secondary disasters such as urban and rural flooding, flash floods, mudslides, landslides, and flooding in small and medium-sized river basins.